What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gem. Certain channels on YouTube, I watch a lot of YouTube boxing because I'm a boxing geek. Some I completely disagree with. They don't get much play. Some I watch a lot. I agree with the takes a lot. And some of them actually inspire me to do videos myself. One of them would be my boy KO from Knockout Boxing 86 TV. If you're on his channel a lot, you'll see I pop through him in the comments all the time. Every now and then I jump on his lives and give him my commentary. Sometimes, spar back and forth with some of the guys up there. But great channel. Always has thought-provoking dialogue. Also, shout out to my boy Dean by any means. I met him Saturday night while I was out watching the fight. Brother had great energy, recognized me, came over and spoke to me. Like I said, big up to you, bro. Look forward to, building with you in the future. With that being said, to all you youngsters, no, I'm not meat munching. No, I'm not gripping. No, I'm not meat eating, or any of those other phrases y'all like to say. I'm just secure enough in myself as a man and mature enough to be able to give another man a compliment without it being taken any type of way. So if y'all, are so insecure that you can't stand to see a man give another man a compliment, or can't fix your face to give a man a compliment because you think like your face is going to break or crack because it's just forbidden to give a man a compliment, that's on you, but that's not me. With that being said, my man Knockout had a video this morning or at least I seen this morning. I don't know if it was posted this morning, talking about the hate of Devin Haney fans towards Gervonta Tank Davis, number one, and number two, the use of the term leftovers in boxing. We all know leftovers is a reference to food that has been prepared, prior to a day or two, sometimes before, when you actually eat it, or you're kind of re-eating something for dinner that you've already eaten. Well, I like to take it a step further. I don't think you can be a leftover. Like they're calling Lomachenko, Devin's leftover, and I agree with Knockout that he's not Devin's leftover, because I think in order to be a leftover, you have to be permanently changed. Something has to be taken away from you for you to be a leftover. You can be dominated and still leave that fight the same person, a la Canelo Alvarez was dominated by Floyd. But not only did he leave that fight with everything he came in with, I think he left with more. He was even better. I think he would be the spaghetti of leftovers. We all know spaghetti could be better the second, third night. But one thing's for sure, two things for certain, that's universal in leftovers. It's what's left over after you have a meal, meaning there's less there than there was originally. So in order for a fighter to be a leftover, he has to have lost something. And I ain't talking about lose a fight. I'm talking about not be all of who he or she was prior to that fight. There's a chance Frank Martin is going to be Tank Davis's leftover, because I know he took a brutal beating that where he may not be the same fighter. And if he's not, he would indeed be, anybody will fight him will be fighting what's left after the destruction he took from Tank. Devin Haney would be Ryan Garcia's leftover, because there's a great chance that anybody fighting him is only going to be fighting a shell of his former self, what's left after the beating he took from Ryan. A leftover can even be a leftover and a win, because the trilogy between Bo and Holyfield, Bo won the trilogy, but it left him lesser of a fighter than he was prior. He got dominated pretty much without the fouls by Andrew Galata after fighting Evander Holyfield, because he was lesser of a fighter. Andrew Galata was fighting what was left after the brutal trilogy of Evander Holyfield. So I just want to, everybody to look at it kind of just another way of looking at it. In order for a fighter to be another fighter's leftover, he has to have been beaten to a point where he's permanently changed, where he left a part of himself in that ring, and whomever is fighting him in the future will only be facing what's left after the previous fight. So again, y'all overusing some of these and misusing some of these boxing terms. Vasyl Lomachenko is not Devin Haney's leftovers. He arguably won that fight. You can argue it either way. I agree with KO when it comes to that too. And he's looked good since then. He just dominated and stopped George Kambosos in Australia. So he's not Devin Haney's leftover. He actually beat Kambosos better than Devin did. Devin had 24 rounds to do what Vasyl Lomachenko did and couldn't do it, and that stopped George Kambosos. So stop overusing these terms. Lomachenko is not Devin Haney's leftovers, and you cannot call, in my opinion, anybody a leftover unless they've left a part of themselves in a ring during a particular fight. Win, lose, or draw. A brutal fight that takes something out of them and changes a fighter, even in a win. Jose Luis Castillo and Diego Corrales. Diego Corrales won their first fight, but we all know he was never the same. He left a part of him in that ring. So anybody that was fighting Diego Corrales after the first Jose Luis Castillo fight, even Jose Luis Castillo in the second fight, was fighting a shell of Diego Corrales, what was left over after that first fight. So, and no disrespect to Diego Corrales, may he rest easy, champ. But, I mean, I hope I cleared that up for y'all. You can't be somebody's leftover if they're the same or maybe even a better fighter after fighting you. We know we use the term leftover to demean or belittle a fighter. You can't demean or belittle a fighter that improved from a loss. And like I said, nobody was dominated, I don't think, more than Canelo was dominated by Floyd. But we all know, if you watch boxing, that he became a better fighter from that. So I wouldn't call him Floyd's leftover. I would just call him Floyd's student, someone he schooled. But like I said, that's all I have for y'all right now. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor. Peace.